Liverpool's trip to St. James Park yesterday was one of those games that remind us why football is so unpredictable, so electrifying, and so unforgettable. Under Arne Slot, the Reds came in with confidence, but nobody could have scripted the kind of drama that unfolded. From the first whistle, Liverpool looked sharp. Their pressing was aggressive, their passing quick, and the rotations across midfield and attack showed Slot's tactical fingerprints clearly. You could feel the intent. This was not a team settling for a draw. This was a team that came to take all 3 points. Newcastle, though, were not about to roll over. The atmosphere inside St. James Park was charged. Every tackle cheered, every attack lifting the crowd to its feet. Early on, Newcastle looked dangerous, and for stretches of that first half it felt like they were the side with momentum. But then came a turning point. In the 35th minute, Gravenberch sees an opening and fired Liverpool into the lead. It was a goal that felt almost against the run of play, yet it showcased exactly what Slot's side is capable of: clinical execution when it matters most. Just before the break, the tension boiled over. Anthony Gordon lunged recklessly into a challenge on Virgil van Dijk, and the referee had no choice but to show red. Newcastle was suddenly down to 10 men, and everything seemed to tilt in Liverpool's favour. With that advantage, the Reds came out in the second half full of belief. Within minutes, Hugo Ekitike struck again to double the lead, and at 2-0, it felt like the game was sealed. But football has a way of turning certainty into chaos. Instead of folding, Newcastle rallied. Bruno Guimaraes pulled one back with a determined header, and suddenly the match was alive again. Liverpool, once in control, now found themselves under pressure. St. James Park roared, the momentum shifted, and Slot's side looked rattled. Then, deep into the second half, William Osler found the equalizer. Against all odds, 10-man Newcastle had dragged it back to 2-2. The noise inside the stadium was deafening. Liverpool's 2-goal cushion had completely evaporated, and questions were being asked. Could Arne Slot's side handle this? The clock ticked on, the tension rising with every passing second. Liverpool pushed forward, but Newcastle defenders threw themselves into every block and challenge. The Reds had to dig deep, showing not only skill but also mental resilience. And then came the moment, the spark that would define the night. A 16-year-old making his Premier League debut, Rio Ngumoha. From the moment he stepped on the pitch, his confidence was evident. He didn't hide, he didn't play safe. He wanted the ball, demanded it, and every touch showed composure far beyond his years. He drifted into pockets of space, linked up plays smartly, and tested Newcastle's tired legs with direct runs. Even the crowd, hostile as ever, couldn't help but sense the danger whenever the ball came his way. This wasn't just a youngster trying to fit in. This was a teenager ready to change the game. And in the 100th minute, yes, the very last breath of stoppage time, he did exactly that. The ball broke to him inside the box, and with a calmness that would make seasoned veterans proud, Ngumoha struck cleanly. The net rippled. The stadium fell silent. Liverpool had their winner, a 3-2 victory, sealed by the youngest debut goalscorer in the club's Premier League history, 16 years old, a name the football world will remember. Arne Slot couldn't hide his delight after the match. He praised his team's fighting spirit, highlighting their refusal to give up even when the momentum swung away from them. More importantly, he singled out Ngumoha not just for the goal, but for the bravery, the composure, and the intelligence he showed under immense pressure. To be trusted in that moment, and to deliver in that way, says everything about his potential. Of course, there are still questions for Liverpool. Conceding 2 goals against a 10-man Newcastle side is something Slot will want to fix quickly. The defensive lapses, the moments of sloppiness, these are areas that can't be ignored. But what matters most is the mentality. Twice Newcastle clawed their way back, yet Liverpool didn't fold. They fought to the last kick. And when opportunity knocked, it was Rio Ngumoha who answered. What we saw was more than just a goal. It was the beginning of a story. A young player stepping into the spotlight, a team showing its resilience under a new coach, and a dramatic victory that will echo throughout the season. Liverpool walk away from St. James Park with 3 points, a 3-2 win, and a new hero. But here's the real question. Was this just a glimpse of what Rio Ngumoha can do, or the start of something far bigger? Can Arne Slot turn this blend of youth and experience into a title-challenging side? And how many more nights like this are waiting for Liverpool fans? One thing's for sure, you don't want to miss what happens next. So if you felt the adrenaline of this match, if you saw the rise of a new star before your eyes, hit subscribe. Because the story of Rio Ngumoha and this Liverpool under Arne Slot is only just beginning.